Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom. I'm Jake T. O'Donnell. Got a few things to go over today. One card that came in the mail, some stuff that I picked up at a card shop visit, and then kind of a cool trip down memory lane for me of one of my favorite baseball players growing up, who's in the news for maybe not necessarily the greatest reason, but I just wanted to kind of talk about him a little bit. Before we get into the new pickups and new arrivals, a couple things I just wanted to mention. First, this week on 59 Topps Friday, we're going to be covering the full 10-card Baseball Thrills subset. We have finally reached that point in our journey. This is an episode of this show that I've been so excited to do, basically since we started this, because the Baseball Thrills subset in the 59 Topps set is maybe the greatest subset of cards ever, if you ask me. Kind of started the whole run of subsets of different cards of capturing moments in particular. There were, some multiplayer card sets before that, but and all-star cards started in 58. But this was like celebrating really specific moments of things that made the game of baseball great. So I've been looking forward to this literally for months. And I really hope that you check that out. So that will be up first thing Friday, as usual. And we're winding down 59 Topps Friday. We're going to be getting into the high numbers in the next few weeks, and then probably as things stand up right now, we'll be finishing it up in June. So it's been really great. It's been really fun. But please make sure you check out that episode this week. I have a big card coming from an eBay purchase, another big pre-war card. So I know that I had the Grover Cleveland Alexander recently. I have another one that's been on my list for a while. It's a card that I talked about on the channel very recently. So I did find one that I'm happy about. It's gone through the authentication process with eBay, and hopefully it will show up by the end of this week. But I'm not really positive about that. And then I have an SGC order that I'm hoping is going to ship tomorrow. The cards have been graded when they went into post grading on Friday, and I was hoping they would ship today, but they have not. So hopefully tomorrow. It has taken quite a while to get this SGC order back from when I sent it out at kind of the beginning of February. And when the order comes, we'll talk about it a little bit. But I'm excited because the video that I will do will be highlighting the full run of my Celtics 61 Fleer team build. So because I'm going to get 3 cards back in that order, and I'll be finished, and I'll have all 11 cards SGC graded. So that will be a fun video when we get to do that. A lot of great content over the weekend from the Philly show. Jealous of folks that got to go. But we're going to try to go in September the next time they do it. But amazing pickups. Check out the videos from folks that went. And so that's it. So why don't I get into some of the pickups? So I had mentioned that I have tried to get some cards of guys that were sort of my heroes growing up and heroes coming into, my as the years went by, sort of my favorites from some of the other sports. I picked up a Paul Pierce rookie card, and I showed you guys that. Well, also on eBay, I got this. Switching gears for me, I don't do a lot of hockey stuff, but here's a Patrice Bergeron rookie card that I picked up. I think this was like $12 or $15. This is a 2003 Parkhurst Original 6 with the young Patrice Bergeron. Patrice Bergeron is my favorite hockey player of all time. He debuted 2004 when I was, guess I would have been a senior in high school or something like that. And, he played for the Bruins up through last year and or 2 years ago, whenever it was he retired. And I miss the guy still. Not really happy with the Bruins at the moment. I can get that in a minute. But I just thought this was a really cool card. This card took a while to show up because it shipped plain white envelope from Canada. So let me make sure that I'm kind of focusing this here. But really happy with this. I'm going to grade this, and we'll see what it comes back as. I mean, who knows how it'll grade. But I just really wanted a Patrice Bergeron rookie for my collection. But yeah, not super thrilled with the Bruins at the moment. I mean, I think they did the right thing in terms of selling off at the trade deadline because the team is kind of going nowhere. The organization's kind of going nowhere. But to trade Brad Marchand and just get back like a conditional second round pick. Like I know that they were not close, apparently not close on a contract. It is what it is. I just think trading a franchise icon for a conditional second round pick is kind of a joke. But par for the course for a team run by the Jacobs family, if you ask me. It was just completely ridiculous that people in Boston ever thought that the Red Sox owners were somehow worse than the Bruins owners, that somehow John Henry is worse than Jerry and Charlie Jacobs. Just ridiculous. Anyway, I didn't want to go off on that rant, but like I'm not happy with the Bruins right now. But anyway, okay, so that was an eBay pickup. And then I want to talk about, I did a card shop visit over the weekend where I went to Don's Sports Card Center in Portland, Maine. And I've been there before. I went there last summer. We spent the weekend in Portland, and we stopped in, and I'm gonna throw up a picture right now of me out front of the store. That was on Saturday afternoon. And if you watch my friend Mike, Junk Wax Hero, his channel, he talks about this place a lot. It's his local card shop. And so I introduced myself to the owner, Ron. It's kind of funny. It's Don's Sports Card Shop, but it's owned by Ron. It was just a super nice guy. It's very appreciative of YouTube channels like Mike's, and I mentioned our channel. And he had a couple of really cool things there. It's a great shop, and I would highly recommend go, and I'll link to one of Mike has done at least one. He's done a couple of videos, I think, from that store. It's a great store. They have so much stuff. They have vintage. They have like complete sets from 3 years, and wax and new stuff, and it's great. It's a great shop, and they had a lot of cool stuff. They had he had posted on Instagram this 1948 Red Sox picture pack that had Ted Williams kind of as the sort of main piece of it, and he was asking $200 for it. It's not I kind of, not in the best position to be able to spend that kind of money on something that's not on my sort of core collecting list at the moment. So I didn't go for that. But that was a really cool piece. But those are the kinds of things that he has in that store. So highly recommend checking out Don's Sports Card Center. I'll link, I think, to their Instagram below. But I bought mostly wax, but I did want to show I bought this one Rafael Devers card. This is the On Fire 2022 refractor. So just thought that was a cool card. This was in like $5 bin. I could have bought more stuff, but I just went for this one. And then I got some wax. I got one pack of 2025 Series 1. I will open this the first week of the season on the channel. Seems to be kind of a tradition. I might buy like a whole box, a hobby box, or not a hobby box, probably like a mega box of this too at some point. This is going to be the subject of an entire video. This will not just be in a short. I think probably all three of these I'll open in full videos. I had to get this 96 Fleer Baseball Red Sox pack, and 10 Red Sox cards. So this is, I'm 10 years old this year, and this is like the Red Sox were my entire personality. So I'm excited to open. This is one for me for sure. And then this is a cool one that I saw, and I was just like, I'm just going to get this. This is the Topps Archives 1953 Archives cards. I remember ripping these as a kid and thinking that they were so cool. It was so cool to be able to own archive cards from the 53 set, and like that was kind of where I kind of fell in love with these old 50s Topps sets, was opening these packs. So excited to open that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. So going back to this one. One of the guys that might be in this is Mo Vaughn. Mo Vaughn is in the news today. I'm recording this on Monday afternoon. Not for the best reason. He admitted to Ken Rosenthal in The Athletic that he took HGH at the end of his career to try to overcome injuries. Not a surprise necessarily. He had been mentioned in the Mitchell report, so it is what it is. Like, guys, technically it was not illegal in baseball until 2005. And again, it had been in the Mitchell report, so it wasn't exactly anything new, but he kind of just confirmed it. But the whole point of the article was not really about that. It was more about how Mo had kind of lost his way with the game. He had been so injured near the end of his career, and that he left the game, and that his son's love of the game brought him back into it. And so he has this, I believe it's a baseball clinic down in Florida and things like that. So I just, I brought back a lot of memories for me because Mo Vaughn was my favorite player from the time from like 93 until he left after the 98 season. He was my guy, Mo Vaughn, the hit dog. He was the man. Everybody, you had to love Mo. He was power hitter, won the MVP in 95. Part of the sort of upward trajectory of the Red Sox over the course of the 90s. They win the division in 95. They're in the playoffs in 98. Because when I first started watching the Red Sox 92, 93, they were bad. I mean, they were really bad. The Butch Hobson years, just not good. But Mo was like starting to kind of build himself up. 93 was his first like really good year. And then 95, of course, like I said, he wins the MVP. So he was my guy. I wanted to just say, like, in relation to the HGH revelations, it doesn't change how I feel about him at all. I don't care. And I want to know your thoughts if like maybe later revelations about sort of PED use of guys from the 80s, 90s into the 2000s, if it changed how you felt about players, if you were heartbroken, and if certain players you found out that they were using PEDs. Like I said, I don't care. I could find out, and it doesn't change how I feel about any of these guys. It doesn't change how I feel about the Hall of Fame prospects of any of these guys. It doesn't matter to me. I would put all of these guys in the Hall of Fame, honestly. Not saying that Mo Vaughn is a Hall of Famer by any means. It's not what I mean. But I'm just, as somebody who was like, he was my favorite player from ages like 7 to 12, it doesn't really impact how I feel about him. I'd like it to know in the comments. But the thing I wanted to bring up was, that I really wanted to bring up in regards to Mo Vaughn, were the things that players do that are small gestures that don't take up ultimately a lot of their time that can make fans for a lifetime. And I wanted to share something that I've kept for all these years. It's this letter, and I'm going to put up. I'm just going to show this right here, but I am going to put up the full. I'm going to put up a full screen of this letter that Mo Vaughn wrote to my 5th grade class at the Josiah Bartlett Elementary School in Bartlett, New Hampshire, in 1998. Like I said, I'm just going to leave. I'm leaving this up here for a second, just so that you can pause. I'm not going to read the whole letter, but if you want to read it, you can pause the video here and read the whole thing, or refer back to it later. I grew up in a very small town, like 3 hours north of Boston, and my school, in my elementary school in 5th grade, the big deal was that the 5th grade would go on a class trip to Boston every year. That was like a multi-night trip. It was like 2 or 3 nights. And we would do all the things, go to the aquarium, you go to the Museum of Science and do the Freedom Trail and all of that stuff. But the big event usually was that we'd all go to a Red Sox game. And this year, 1998, we went to a Red Sox game between the Red Sox. We went to a game at Fenway between the Red Sox and Orioles. And side note that was the one game that I went to in my life during Cal Ripken's streak. And I've mentioned this on the channel before that Ripken was my favorite non-Red Sox player pretty much of all time. So that was incredibly special for me. The streak ended like 3 months later, the end of 1998. Mo Vaughn had somewhat of a connection to, the clubhouse manager at Fenway was friends with a family that was a prominent family where I grew up in the region where I grew up that has owned and operated a pretty significant, a major restaurant in the area for years. And that word got over to Mo that this group, that we were all here, and I just we were all wearing these like red baseball hats out there, so we could obviously everybody could keep track of each other. And so when he found out that we were there, he wrote our class a letter afterwards, and you can see, if you saw it was on Red Sox letterhead, and it was signed by him. And there was just such cool things that he wrote about this. He said, when I came to bat, I could see you all cheering and try my best to park a homer right in the middle of the group. Sorry, the closest I could get was a single up the middle. I got the whole team into the act trying to hit one out to you, but at least we scored 9 runs and won the game. and then after the game, he said, I saw you, he saw us like as we were going to our bus after the game. He said, I saw you all marching out 2 by 2s after the game, but you were across the street heading for your bus, so I couldn't get over to greet you all personally. I was especially impressed by the way you were paying attention to your teachers and following their instructions. I've learned from years of playing baseball that paying attention to the little details and being able to follow instructions is what makes you successful in life. Keep up the good work. So, so they gave us all, so in my 5th grade class, they gave us all copies of this letter, and all these years I've kept this. And, this is just like a small gesture, and it's whether it's like signing a card or signing a ball or taking a picture. I want to know if you can, put in the comments any moments that, from your life as a fan, that kind of thing that maybe you reflect on now when you were like, this was a huge moment. This was something that made me a fan of somebody for life. I was already a fan of Vaughn before this letter. He was my favorite player, and this sort of cemented it. And that's why I have such fond feelings about him as a player and as a person, just taking the time to do that. So let me know in the comments if you have had a similar experience like that. So again, so this week, possibly, I will definitely open at least one of these packs this week for sure on the channel, hoping to get, it's kind of maybe not looking great to be able to do either the SGC reveal or the big card that's supposed to come from my eBay purchase, but might come this week. We might be able to do those. And then obviously 59 Tops Friday, we're really, really looking forward to that on Friday. I will be going to the Best Flippin' Card Show in Woburn on Saturday. So hopefully get some good pickups there. So thanks very much again. Let me know, let us know in the comments about somebody that's a player that made you a fan for life for a small gesture, small reason. Please subscribe to Wax Pack Wisdom if you haven't yet. We're very close to 800 subscribers, and again, we're trying to get to 1,000 so we can run a cool giveaway. So please subscribe if you have not. Leave us a comment, like I said. Please like this video. Check out where to follow us on all social media channels. Check out our ComC store, and check out the list of favorite nonprofits and charities. It would really mean a lot to us if you could potentially support one of them if you can. So thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.